No rehearsals, anything like that. It's Good Friday. Well, if I was off work, it's a Good Friday, I'm pretty certain you'll all be the same. We'll all be like, let's go fishing, but we can't because we're still on lockdown. And there's a lot of people out there. My wife's a nurse, and there's lots of other nurses out there who are working really hard to make sure that we don't end up in hospital. So stay indoors. It's as simple as that. I've got a bit of entertainment outside my window. I don't know if you can see actually from there outside the window. I've got my little sparrows come every day. Because they'll be having babies soon. They'll be having babies, little eggs. So they all come every day. And I have loads of bird feeders out there. And I can make sure I feed the sparrows. But every now and then we get a few robins and a few wrens and a few tits. Greenfinches, goldfinches, pigeons, starlings, blackbirds, thrushes, you name it. It just comes, getting all sorts, lots of goodies. Anyway, what can we talk about today? We could go back into the deep, darkest vaults of Gary's mind and some of the things we used to do in the past. And I just thought of one just off the top of my head. I used to keep koi carp back in the old days. I had some big pools in the garden in Stretford full of koi carp, but also in the pools mirror carp and ghost carp and rudd, golden rudd and tench and crucians and all sorts in there. And I'd go out my way, but if I caught any in the middle of anywhere, I'd have them. I'd take them. But what I used to do is I used to have these, remember those on the C90s? They're like a potty, you know, like motorbike on the C90. Anyway, I think my brother had done this bike up or something, and I ended up buying it off him. And it was very good. He used to put about like a pint of juice in it a week, no, pint of petrol, and it'd last a week. You know, and I'd get everywhere. I'd put my fishing tackle on it, fall off everywhere. And I used to be always on a scout looking for other places to go fishing. So we'd have the canal, obviously, be up and down the canal on this motorbike, Sale Water Park, Charlton Water Park. I'm trying, always finding other places to fish, and anyway, I was going for a walk once on the back of Stretford Meadows, going towards Charlton Meadows. It was actually on Charlton Meadows, so it's like Stretford Meadows, and then we'd have Charlton Brook running through the middle of it, and on the other side it was Charlton Meadows, like, and then the River Mersey running through. And on the other side it'd be Sale Water Park, and then Charlton Water Park further up. But in the middle of all this was like the meadows. And there were like bird sanctuaries on there, you know, like absolutely riddled with all these like fences round, like with loads of like water fowl in them, and like ducks and herons and things like that. And I haven't got a clue where they come from. I don't think it'd always been there, the meadows, but the pools and stuff that were there, I don't know, I don't think they were ancient or anything. They look like somebody had just come in with a big JCB digging and dug a few holes out, you know what I mean, and stuck some rushes and reeds around them and stuff, and some of them were really sort of like out of the way. And after a while, walking past them, these things, they were catching pike and them, all sorts, big pike and all. There were only little pools as well, and there was some big pike in there. But on a few occasions we used to go through in summer. I went through this one summer and there was a lot of golden rudd, beautiful, all shoaled up in these little places. Not allowed to fish on there because it was a bird sanctuary. Well, they called it bird sanctuary, so, you know what I mean, and there was always wardens as well. It never stopped us. So we'd go on and we'd get maggots and stuff and come back with little rods and catch the rudd. I was there on this one occasion, and I could see clouds of like mud coming up off the mud line on the far side, like coming up, and I could see some tails coming up like this, just lazing a float. So anyway, we sat around with these lads, Danny and that, and it was like Dennis and all the rest of it. So told him about it. So, you know, and there was Owen Sumner, lovely lad, cracking lad. I don't think Owen talks to me anymore. I fell out with me like over a misunderstanding with some fishing tackle, which he never believed me, but believe me, I was telling the truth. Anyway, what happened was this. See these tails. So I thought, didn't really have any baiting at home on that day, and I thought, well, what can we do? So we told one or two of the lads, I said, we'll go off and we'll come back and we'll bring like a tip rod. And I think at the time I might have had like a Die-Hour Harrier. It used to have screw-in tips in the end, so we usually have a swing tip on it or something like that. But I thought, well, it was either that, a Die-Hour Harrier, or the one like I had a Silstar winkle picker, but it was like 8 foot or something like that. And I thought, go on, we'll get that. I'll stick some heavy line on it. Heavy line for us was about £6, by the way. I mean, these days, bloody hell. Anyway, it was like £6 that seriously. So I thought, go on, get the little picker rod. We'll come back. I you know, went back on the night, told everybody, you know, like, anyway, left the motorbike home because we'd be walking up and we all walked up, like, climbed over this fence into this bird sanctuary sort of area. And there wasn't any sign of these fish, so we thought, I know, we'll take some bread. So we took some bread and we balled it all up, threw it on the other side, like in little balls. So it'd be like on the bottom where I saw these tails. It was very chocker full of branches in the water and all sorts, and I bet it wasn't that deep and it would have been very silty. Very shady as well, lots of trees all around it and everything. Anyway, we sneaked in, keeping very quiet. Anyway, little lead bomb on, little Aussie bomb, like 1/2 ounce or 3/4 ounce bomb, right, with a big tail on it like that, with some bread flake on it. We'll pop that across, swung it across like that, put the rod down, put it, you know, like on, we made some, like, when we used to go out like this, we wouldn't take bank sticks and stuff with us, we just got a couple of branches, and made some rod rests out of them, and put the rod up in the air a little bit like that. Jesus, the tails were there. You could see the tails just gently, you know, they weren't like going off their heads and head down, but you could see the tails there like that, touching the surface of the water. That goes round, but I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, one of the hardest fighting fish I've ever hooked into my life. It was like, Jesus. And it was heading like, you know, like they'd never been caught before. What the bloody hell is it? Anyway, after about 10 minutes, managed to sort of haul it in towards the edge, and we did take a landing net and landed it like, and it wasn't massive, I would say, you know, like about 3 or 4 pounds or something, but it was a pure wild carp. Not one of these mud pigs, a big mirror or leather or common or something like that, but a pure wild carp. Dark, but golden dark, if you know what I mean. With really long barbules, like a torpedo though. Really long dorsal on it, a massive flipper on the end of it. Absolute, oh my God, it was like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, we thought, gee, well, we took a keep net with us just so we could, if we caught any fish, we could hold them back and look at them. So, sorry about the phone pinging. Should have turned that off before I started. Dickhead. Anyway, we what's name? Popped it back out. There's still tails there up on the top like that. But Jesus Christ. Anyway, plot back in. Bloody wild carp again. About same size again. Another good between 5 and 10 minutes to land this bloody thing. Putting a tackle, you know what I mean? We're glad we used the little Silstar picker rods, because I'm not the what's name, you know what I mean? They were bloody bang on them rods, and I mean, I'm pretty certain I've got a few Silstar rods, but I haven't got one of them picker rods anymore. I don't know whatever happens. I know what I think I did with the picker rod. There was a young lad when I moved from Manchester up here. He was getting into fishing, and I had plenty of rods. I think he gave it away, but it had a really soft fiberglass tip on it, really fine on it, and you know, proper wrapped round like that, just bread. Oh, and it carried on this all afternoon. We were catching loads of them. Anyway, the word got round and all the rest of it, so we started looking a little bit closer at all these other pools. And it wasn't until we started looking closer at all these other pools, and there was loads of them. All the pools had a few in. Anyway, I just let it be, like, we had that 1 year doing it, catching all those carp. I didn't come back to it for a couple of years. Like, we had our fun out of it. And it's like, you strike while the iron's hot. What had happened was, and it's a damn shame, we come back a couple of years later to have a look at it again, and the pools have been overrun because they were like a bird sanctuary. Been overrun by bulrushes and reeds, and absolutely filled the whole pool. And the fish were still in there. There was no open water for them, but they were sort of like in amongst the bulrushes and the reeds. Like it was that tight with them and all the rest of it. And it weren't being maintained as a pool for fish because it was for wildlife. Anyway, it's not much of an exciting story, but I'm telling you that sometimes, it pays not just to go to commercials, not just to go to rivers, not just to go to canals, but look, I've heard stories of where people have dumped goldfish in little pools in the middle of nowhere, and they've bred like wildfire. I've never caught anything like that, but if you've got any stories of any little places like that, and they're exciting, the goldfish and things like that, or something different, comment. Anyway, it was nice talking to you. Please subscribe, please share, you go a long way. Stay safe. We're on lockdown. Find something to do. I was going to start going through my floats, and I've got hundreds of floats. Bloody hell, there's thousands of them. And maybe repaint the floats. You could repaint them. Anyway, have fun. You'll find something to do with your fishing, and I'll catch you later. Oh, it's Good Friday. Friday's alright. Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark to see. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama, put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. The black, black cloud coming down. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on Thank you. I needed that.